How's it going, everyone? It's K Lumity here, and today we are going to be talking about a game that I grew up playing quite a bit of. It's on the PlayStation 2, and that game is Spongebob SquarePants Lights, Camera, Pants. And if you are familiar with the Mario Party games, and basically the mini games that are in those, then you will probably know what this game is all about. This game is basically just a mini game compilation. It's essentially just a ton of mini games thrown into one game, and you get to play as a bunch of different SpongeBob characters. And they actually do give you quite a few characters to play as. You can play as SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, Squidward, and Sandy Cheeks, so not a bad variety of characters there. And the actual mini-games themselves, they're pretty fun. There are some free-for-all ones, and there are some team ones, just like you would see in something like Mario Party. And the whole point of the game, the whole storyline, I guess you could call it, it's you know, who cares about the story really too much, but basically they're making a movie in the Bikini Bottom, and the whole point is you need to try to get casted for certain parts. So each section of minigames is divided into just a few minigames each. I think it's 3 minigames each. Each time it's divided into that section, you have to try to get the most points by winning the minigames. And if you do, you get to be whatever role they're casting for. So you basically can be every single role in the movie, and then it will actually give you cutscenes of your character in that role. So that's kind of cool. And if you lose, it will throw another character in that role, and you'll watch the cutscene, and it will be that character instead. And at the very end, it will play through all of the scenes in order, so you can see how the movie turned out with the casting decision. So it's kind of cool how it works. It's a different idea, and I haven't really seen too many video games quite like this. Actually, kind of a fun fact here, this game is really fun on the PS2, but the actual Game Boy Advance version is not too bad either. It's not like this one at all. It's a completely different game, but it is really good too. I just kind of want to throw that out there. But I do like this game quite a bit. The mini-games are fun. It has some really good ones on it. My favorite probably being the soccer mini-game. There's like this soccer mini-game where you're riding on the back of seahorses, and you're basically just playing soccer, and that's a really fun one. There's another one that I really like where it's catching jellyfish, but the whole point of the catching jellyfish is like certain colors are worth more points, and you have to catch them, and then you have to take your net, and you basically slingshot the jellyfish out of your net into a juicer, and it will basically juice the jellyfish for their jelly, and you'll get points for however many you get during that, and also you'll get extra points for doing combos. So the more you do at one time, the more points you get. There's some silly ones too, like there's rock breaking. There's like one where you go to Bikini Bottom prison, and you're basically like breaking rocks, and you're helping convicts escape and stuff like that. That one's kind of fun too. There's actually a driving one too that's not too bad. You go to Miss Puff's boating school, and there's a few different like driving type ones. There's even one where you have to do a bunch of tricks and try to land the tricks and everything. So overall, I do think the mini games are pretty good here. And the nice thing about this game is that it really hasn't gone up in price. This game is usually around $10 everywhere I see it, and I think for $10 that's not a bad price at all. I know that these mini games are kind of like these mini game compilation games like this are kind of hit and miss, just because, you know, it's not, most people don't want to get a game that's just all mini games, and I kind of get that. You know, so a lot of people want an actual game that they can play through that's all kind of the same without having to swap to a bunch of different mini games. And I guess mini games like this, these games kind of feel cheap sometimes. This one, I don't really feel like it does, though, because it does a good enough job with the story, with the cutscenes, and with the minigames in general, and actually feeling like they put a lot of effort into them, where I feel like that this game doesn't feel too cheap, and that's good. Overall, I say that this game is definitely worth your time. I think it's worth you picking up and playing through, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. The voice acting is actually really good in it, too. The music is okay. It's not great, but it's, you know, it's not bad for a SpongeBob game, I guess. And the sound design overall isn't too bad either. It's a fun game. I think that for the PS2, for $10, if you can find it for that price, that's not a bad price at all, and I think you're going to get $10 worth of enjoyment out of this game. So go ahead and check out Spongebob Lights, Camera, Pants on the PlayStation 2. In fact, check out quite a few of the different Spongebob games on the PlayStation 2, because there's quite a few good ones out there to play. I mean, Curse of the Flying Dutchman's really good. Battle for the Bikini Bottom's really good. The movie game is also really good. So check out some of those games too, because the SpongeBob games on the PS2 were on a completely different level. You know, they were really good. They were really good 3D platformers, a lot of them. And this one kind of, I guess, broke up the gameplay of the original, like, or the other 3D platformers. It did something different. It went its own direction, and that direction wasn't too bad. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you in the next video. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.